Now to the most important part of every show. Today's guest is the first, I'm sure, of many folks that are running for office this year in our area, and it is Doug Loyd, candidate for Union County Sheriff. Welcome, Doug.
I appreciate it, Rick.
I've been excited to start the campaign season off. This is always I used to do a little hour-long show years ago, and I always enjoyed the campaign season because every year we had a ton of different individuals on with unique views.
I guarantee it. Hey, I encourage everybody out there to run for office one time.
That's all it would take. I've been around enough politicians to know I'll never do it. What is you're running for Union County Sheriff. What is your law enforcement background? Let's start basic.
Yes, sir. So what I'll start out with before I speak about the law enforcement background is I was born and raised in Union County, Rick.
All right.
And so I got some deep roots there. And so I really love the people of Union County, always have. And I've always considered myself a public servant. I've always looked at how I can help people. And me and my wife, we've been married right at 26 years. We have 8 children. We've been a foster family since 2015. We've adopted 5 children out of the community.
Oh.
So I've been able to, work closely with DFACs and the foster community and build that relationship in this law enforcement career, which
That's
is very,
impressive.
very important because it's about, when I started this campaign, I started it on focusing on family and children and everything that ties us together as a community.
Right.
And so my wife is also a pre-K teacher. So with that, I've got a little over 20 years law enforcement experience in the community. And out of that 20 years of law enforcement experience, Rick, I've got 15 plus years in upper management.
Okay.
With this background experience, I've had the opportunity to go deep, with training as a boss, as a supervisor. And I started from the ground level. I didn't start at the top. I started, like any other deputy would, fresh out of mandate back in 2002. And I worked myself up through the ranks through the years. But also with that, I've always looked at it how I can better myself. Every year that would go by, I would always see how could I better myself. So with that, I've had chief deputy training. I've also had FBI LEDA training. I've had all 3 levels, which is supervisor, command, and executive training. And there's nobody else in the law enforcement in Union County that has ever gone through that training. And with that, going through all levels, I received the Trilogy Award, they call it. And so I'm proud of that, training that I've been able to receive. And I know as the next sheriff of Union County, I can use, and I have all kinds of connections with that training and resources that will help me better serve the citizens of Union County. Also, I've had other management training, supervisor management training, command staff, the field training, which is a huge deal when it comes to training officers. I've had DUI field sobriety. I'm SWAT certified. Not only am I SWAT certified, but I'm CIT certified, crisis intervention. And as the captain, when I was there at the sheriff's office under Mac Mason, I utilized that training on all levels, and I always looked at how I could better the staff that worked underneath me because, unfortunately, Rick, the state has pushed back the medical towards the sheriff's office with the mental health and everything. And so that CIT training is crisis intervention training. And I worked hard as the captain there of getting, I had approximately, this is a rough number, about 80% of the staff, the jail staff, and the deputies certified in CIT training. And as the next sheriff, I will continue that moving forward.
Let me ask you, a lot of training, incredible training background. Tell me about your day-to-day as an officer. Where have you served?
Yep. So I was third in command of the operation underneath Mac Mason.
In Union County?
In Union County. I come in with him in 2013. to help him set up the whole organization.
Okay.
And so I helped manage the daily activities. I helped manage all the shifts. I was a liaison in the community.
Let's
in that
talk
position.
about that. What experience do you have being a liaison between the sheriff's office and the local Union County community?
So with that liaison in the community, I was able to work closely with DFACS, anything to do with mental health, the commissioner's office, the police department, Blairsville Police Department, Towns County Sheriff's Office, Fannin County, White County, all the surrounding counties. I was able to be a voice from the inside out and always worked closely and had no issues or problems communicating and working. So I had my hands a lot in the community, and not only that, in events in the community, special events. So I had my hands in a lot in the community.
We've had sheriff from Clay County, North Carolina, and the sheriff from Towns County on in the past, the current servant. And one of the issues we talked about with both of them was drugs, the escalation of drugs in our area. How will you address, or what will you do about the escalation of drugs in Union County?
So underneath my leadership, moving forward as the next sheriff of Union County, I will be very proactive. We've got an influx of fentanyl and meth and pills and everything that is coming through our county. And as the next sheriff, we will work hard to fight that area. Okay, we will be proactive on the streets. And the way that we'll be able to do that is through our narcotics division, and we have a traffic interdiction right now, but I'm going to combine those to reinforce, because we went from 5 narcotic agents down to 2, and so I want to beef that area back up. And also, I want us to get back with other agencies, jurisdictional agencies, because we've been operating amputated. And we've cut ourselves off from the resources in years gone by. And moving forward underneath my leadership, we will connect those pieces back together, because the more resources that we have to fight the crime and the drug activity, the better we're going to serve the citizens of Union County and keep them safe.
Speaking of resources, do you have any experience in keeping a balanced budget in the budgeting aspect of a sheriff's office?
Yes, sir. Underneath my leadership as captain, I had the biggest division of the Union County Sheriff's Office. And underneath that area, I had all the staff. I would approve the payroll each week, every 2 weeks. And so I had to monitor the hours, the money that was going in and out. And underneath my leadership, Rick, all the years that I was underneath the leadership from 2013 to 2022, I always come underneath budget. But we know as time changes and our community grows, so does other things in budget and everything. And that's something that we'll have to address in the future. But underneath my leadership, yes, sir, I've had plenty of dealings with the budget.
So it always comes back to that money, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
What can we afford?
That's right.
Doesn't matter if you're running a household or a sheriff's office.
That's correct.
How will you address elderly abuse in our community? That's something you read about every so often. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, sir. That is a big concern, because we all know that right now the scams with the elders and everything, unfortunately, it starts with caretakers. It starts with people and family that try to take advantage of them. And then also with all these phone calls and phone scams and emails and everything. But as the next sheriff, I will be very proactive in working closely with the banks in the community, the bank presidents. Not only that, with assisted living like Stonehenge and Brandon Lodge and all those facilities and the senior center, by educating the community, okay, of what to look for, how to, don't, click on this, don't do this. But I believe that educating the community Okay, and there's certain training that is very important, and I have one of the trainings that is very important. It's called at-risk adult crime tactics training. There's not a lot of officers in the sheriff's office that has that, but it helps you. It gives you an understanding of how to, you know, apprehend and deal with those type of situations. But I'll be very proactive of protecting the elderly.
Doug, will you be a constitutional sheriff?
Yes, sir, Rick. I will be a very strong constitutional sheriff. With that, I will uphold, defend, protect, and serve as the next sheriff of Union County as a constitutional sheriff.
All right. Can our children be better protected against predators who use the internet to lure children? What are your thoughts? That's in the national news every day.
Yes, sir, it is. So underneath my leadership, we have one investigator right now that has extensive training with internet crimes against children, and he will be dedicated even more in the community by educating in the school systems and in the community, and we will be very proactive to protect our children from the sex predators and anything that might be going on by educating the community.
Okay. How will you address the problems in such as regarding deputy response time? I mean, that's a ways out there.
Yes, sir, it is. Through the years, that community unfortunately has suffered because of where they're at. But underneath my leadership, I've already been very proactive in that community of letting them know what my plan is. And my plan, we will have 2 deputies day and night working that beat for better response time, visibility, and so we'll be able to be more proactive in that community. They will see a presence day in and day out, not just during election times.
All right, here's a big issue we see each and every day regarding body cams. Do you plan to have body cams on your deputies?
Yes, sir. And I know that's a big expense, but I will do everything I can to save the taxpayers by finding grants and everything, because with those body cams, officer liability, better, stronger cases will be made, because we've been losing vital cases through the years. And underneath my leadership, we will be more proactive with those body cams and better coverage.
Sounds expensive.
Yes, sir, it is. That's why we have to look for grants, and there's other ways to save the taxpayers money. And I will do that underneath my leadership.
Sounds like you've been doing a lot of homework.
Yes, sir. When I was the captain there, I had already started in that area of finding some body cams with grants and stuff.
All right. Are you planning to have a mentor program?
Yes, sir. I feel it's very important that we have a sheriff's office that is heavily involved in the community. And if we can mentor children and work closely with the school police, and also we used to have a program called the Explorer Program, and it's changed. But it gives the younger generation a better understanding of what this law enforcement is about. And if we can mold them and help them to be better citizens, that's what it's about.
We've got about 5 minutes, 4 to 5, about 4 minutes left.
Yes, sir.
What is the most important aspect to you of being sheriff of Union County?
There's a lot of things, Rick, but what I want people in Union County to know.
Our time goes quickly.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't it?
Yes, sir, it does. Yes, sir, it does. As the next sheriff, my most important thing is to protect the citizens of Union County on all levels, and also I will be a sheriff for all people. Okay, in the community, with an open door policy, and people can come to me and talk to me about their issues and concerns, and I will serve the community with a spirit of excellence in everything that we do. We will be a sheriff's office that is fully involved, and not just sitting back waiting for calls. But as the next sheriff, I am ready to take office tomorrow. I wish the election was tomorrow, but I am ready to serve as a public servant on all levels. I'm just ready to serve.
I sincerely hope you discuss this with your wife of, was it 26 years?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've had many discussions.
Is a family.
Yes, it is.
Family
yes,
commitment.
Sir.
And your kids.
Yes, sir. And I don't take it lightly. And even when I started my career, I said, I will go in with integrity. I will go out with integrity. And not only that, but I wanted to serve, ending my career as the sheriff of the county that I've always protected and served. And I'm looking forward to being the next sheriff of Union County. And one last thing,
Sure.
real fast. A lot of people think that we're voting in November, but no. Early vote is April the 29th, and May the 21st is the big day. So we got to get people out there to vote, and I'm excited.
Folks, today's guest has been candidate Doug Loyd. He's candidate for Union County Sheriff's Office. Doug, I really appreciate you coming. Folks, we're willing to hear anybody and everybody that is running for office. We are open. This is your open mic opportunity. If you're running for office, we encourage you to give us a call. You can give us a call at 828-557-9139. That's 828-557-9139. Or you can shoot me an email at rick@callrickandrews.com. We'd love to have you on if you're running for office. I'm a believer in the free market of ideas. We'd like to see what your thoughts are on political office. And as always, I greatly appreciate your time and listening to this week's show. If you're considering buying or selling real estate here in our beautiful mountains of Young Harris, Hiawassee, Blairsville, over into Clay County, please allow me to interview for the job. Doug, again, I really appreciate you coming on the program. I think you made a lot of valid points. I'm excited for you this coming election.
I appreciate that, Rick. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for tuning in, folks.